What's up, everybody? Welcome to Bios3 Raw TV. Well, I got a couple emails, and it's funny how emails can be worded one way and then you find out that it's not actually a fact. But I got the email saying, oh, you got to see Mark Loblinder's news video. He's calling you out. So I watched the video, and no, I don't see Mark calling me out. I see Mark using me as a reference for talking about drop sets, and where I stated drop sets do nothing for the muscle as far as muscle growth, but just increase muscular endurance. Now, I guess that statement I should have actually said the way most people use them, okay, is not the proper way to use those techniques, drop sets. I see people using drop sets all the time in the gym, and I'm sure Mark can attest to this too. They look like shit. They don't look good. They don't progress. Nothing happens. They think they're training hard because they get a little bit of a burn in the muscle, a little more of a pump, and they're like, oh man, I had a fucking great set. Meanwhile, the arms never budge. The chest never budges. Nothing ever happens. Why? Because they're not using them the right way. They're just using them to use them. And that's 99% of people out there. You don't even know why you're using them. If I ask you why you're using drop sets, you're like, oh, because I'm trying to get bigger to stimulate muscle growth. How? How does that happen? Okay, and that's where we lie with the problem. How does muscle growth occur? Now, can drop sets be used properly in order to progress muscle-wise? Yes. Recovery comes into a big play with that, but like Mark said in his video, if he's benching 185 and drops it to 140 and continues, now here's the key. The proper way to use that to progressive overload is a proper way to use that along with a drop set. So let's say you did 185, you went down to 140. The following week, you would try to attempt 190 and 145. Progressive overload to go beyond that, but that also taxes your central nervous system and your recovery abilities. Now, what I'm going to do is go directly into the quotes of Mike Mentzer from the original Heavy Duty. I've had this book for a while. This is an original print of Heavy Duty, and nothing has changed muscle-wise of how muscle growth occurs. It occurs the same way in every individual. But Mike just puts it in a way that's very understandable, so it's not the science blah, blah, blah that fucking drives people nuts and can't figure out what the fuck is going on. There is a principle in exercise physiology referred to as SAID, S-A-I-D, or specific adaptation to impose demands, which means that the body adapts in a specific fashion to specific demands. If your specific goal is to improve upon your ability to carry out large volumes of work, then you must train in a specific fashion, i.e. with low to moderate intensity employing a large volume of sets. Now, low intensity doesn't mean that, you're not doing a lot of work. You can do 50 sets and you're not doing high intensity if you're doing 50 sets. If you're doing volume training, it's not high intensity training, it's high volume training. If, on the other hand, your specific goal is to increase your muscular size and strength, which is what bodybuilding is, then you must also train in a specific manner, i.e. with high intensity and low volume sets. It's not as if the body has 100 units, this is important. It's not as if the body has 100 units available for adapting with increased endurance. It's not as if the body has 100 units of resources available for adaptation in the form of size and strength, and another 100 units available for adapting and increased endurance. Training guided by mixed premises will not yield the results of the same magnitude as adaptive specific training, which means training for what you want your results to be. And there are specific ways to train for specific results. And I'm not doubting that some people out there do drop sets and make results, but no one out there, even Mark included, can say that I don't change faster than 99% of the YouTubers or anyone else out there doing what I do. And there's no drop sets and there's no set extenders and none of this bullshit. And it's not a drug thing. It is a diet training. It's specific adaptation to that training that gets my body to change so fast. The intensity factor, okay? This is very important. Over a century ago, it was discovered, and it has been verified and re-verified since then by science, that the specific, gotta say that, because if it's not science, then it's not real, right? That specific stimulus responsible for inducing muscular growth beyond normal levels in human beings is related to intensity of effort. The closer the percentage of effort gets to 100%, the greater the growth stimulation. High intensity muscular contractions, therefore, are an absolute requirement for stimulating rapid, large-scale increases in muscular size and strength. Doesn't say you're not going to increase size and strength, but not as rapid as doing it this way. Fastest results possible with the most minimal amount of time invested in the gym. Because of the brutally demanding nature of such training, it's impossible to perform a large number of high-intensity contractions in any given workout. This means that you either train hard or you train long, but you cannot train hard and long. That's a fact. Properly defined, intensity refers to the percentage of possible momentary muscular effort being exerted. It is only on the last rep of a set carried to point of momentary muscular failure, not beyond failure, momentary muscular failure. That an individual is forced to exert 100% of his momentary ability. Executing that last, almost impossible rep causes the body to dip into its reserves ability. Since it only has a small amount of this reserve to draw upon before depletion occurs, the body protects itself from future assaults on its reserves by enlarging upon its existing ability through the compensatory buildup of more muscle mass. Only high-intensity training can force the body to resort to this reserve ability sufficiently to overstimulate the adaptive response. Repeating tasks that are well within your existing capacity will do nothing to spur growth. That's the people that are in the gym doing 20 sets of bars, 20 sets of this, and they never fucking change. They're working within their capacity. They're never actually challenging themselves. Now, adding, a couple extra fucking sets to make the muscle burn is not going outside of your capabilities. Ending a set before failure just became an arbitrarily chosen number of reps has been completed will not cause you to grow. And that's a fact. Now, how Mike Mentzer used to actually use these techniques and how you can get them to work for yourself. Recovery is huge. You have to recover. So using these things too much, I don't care who you are, there are going to be people that can recover faster than others. And if they can recover with them and their central nervous system recovers faster, fine. But 99% of the people that I get coming to me have average or less than average recovery abilities. Drop sets are not for them. If you have someone that comes to you that can recuperate like Ronnie Coleman, it doesn't matter what the fuck that guy does. He can do a drop set of literally 7 drops over and over again, and he's going to recover. However, a natural person coming to me 99% of the time does not have that recuperative ability. If they do, hey, great for them. They're probably not going to be coming to me asking me that question then. Interesting, right? Now, to incorporate the set extenders, so drop sets, forced reps, supersets, etc. To me, to optimally use those things and what Mike had put out there and what the optimal way to use them is to use them sparingly. So what happened, let's see Dorian Yates, for instance. So he would do failure training, and then a couple exercises, he would get 1 or 2 forced reps or maybe do 1 drop on a set and get a few extra reps. That would be it. The body would recover. Now here's what the interesting part was. It wouldn't necessarily use those again for the next workout. They may use them again later on to force an adaptive response because he had generated so much power already on those exercises that adding weight to those exercises were actually dangerous. So instead of rather adding weight, what they would do is add a forced rep, add a drop set. It wasn't like they were doing those things just randomly, which 99% of people do. I go, well, what do you do for triceps? I do a triple drop set at the end for it puts the blood in it. The fuck, your triceps fucking suck, okay? They are fucking terrible. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me how so many people out there are talking shit about like, well, yeah, I do this, I do that, I do this. I'm like, but you suck. You suck plain and simple. You may look okay by yourself in the gym, but put you on a fucking stage next to people that are training hard, you look like shit. So many times people fucking talk about Mark Lobliner. They're like, he looks like shit. Go stand next to Mark and see what he looks like. I guarantee you, when you stand 2 feet away from Mark, you're going to go, what the fuck? Things are not always what they seem. Mark's a hell of a lot bigger and leaner in person than he is on the fucking camera. Okay? So think about where the questions are coming from. Think about where the information is coming from. I've just given you solid scientific information that has not changed muscle physiology-wise. If it had changed, we'd be producing some fucking pretty amazing fucking human beings right now, muscle-wise, and the only reason we're producing that now is because of drugs. It has nothing to do with training. But that's how muscle growth occurs. You have to have an adaptive response that's very specific to what you're trying to do so that the body actually thinks it's in danger, will not want to be in danger the next time it does it. And what it does that is overcompensates, it adapts, it recovers, and next thing you know, it grows to be bigger and stronger to handle the stress for the next thing. Adaptation, calluses, adaptation, fucking babies rub their head on the fucking on the blanket and their hair falls out. Adaptation, the body adapts. So I hope this explains a little bit as to what I think about drop sets. I don't suggest them because I don't think that most people are going to be able to use them correctly. Can I use them correctly? Yes, but I don't need to use them. I can cause the adaptive response without it. In the best, fastest way to gain the most amount of muscle possible is to generate the most amount of force that you possibly can in the least amount of time. Get out of the gym, let your body recover, let it adapt, and it will grow. Biowestertraining@gmail.com. Leave comments down below, but don't fight. www.biowestertraining.com is a blog. It's the heavy-duty, basic bicep principles, bicep, and we're out.